Are you ready? Here we go. T-Real.
Shining bright, going hard, living big, like a star. Trying to get it, already got it. And there ain't nothing no one can do about it. We living that best life. We living that best life. We living that best life. We living. Everybody talking about trying to hustle hard, but don't nobody want to talk about God. Trying to get it in, we trying to win, but don't nobody seem to know where to begin. Well, I'ma tell you something, I hope you listening. Life gets better when Jesus is your friend. You can tell him anything, he'll tell you everything. No competition, how you win it every day. Shining bright, going hard, living big.
Hey, Kingdom Builders. Hey, how y'all living out there? How y'all living? Look, I looked at my last little podcast and it seemed kind of dry. I'm telling y'all, I got to get this atmosphere in here. Go in my car. We be jamming. Maybe because I be jamming in my car. I said, I'm going to have to get some more music elevated. This is my business here, you know, one of my businesses. And so it just ain't got that. But I got to get some excitement in this. So anyway, how are all the Kingdom Builders living out there on this Monday? Money matters. Yes. And so for some of you all that really don't know me, that tune in and watch me, Living Life with Autumn, I try to do this under this big umbrella, Living Life with Autumn, because I have so much that God has invested in me that I want to share. And that is about money matters, primarily spiritual growth, definitely, because we definitely want to make sure God is first in everything that we do. And it's because it's all about him. Everything we do is all about him. We got Testimony Tuesdays on Tuesdays. We got Health Wealth Wednesday on Wednesdays. We got Thursday, Tell It Like It Is Thursday. And Friday, we got Super Faith Friday. And then all the other days, just living life with Autumn, I tell you. So we got a lot going on. I just want y'all to know, because some of y'all didn't know that we kind of do this and we try to do it on a daily basis. Minister Frank too is trying to get me to do it at a certain time of day. So Monday Money Matters will always be on Monday at 7 o'clock. We want to tell you guys too about the drawing. We also do a drawing on Monday. And for those of you that tune in, normally if you just share, you're put in the drawing. We pull the drawing out the next day and you get $100 if your name is pulled. Well, to help us kind of promote what we're trying to do and get the message out there. So we're going to do it a little bit differently. We're throughout the broadcast, or this little streaming, there's going to be a word, a word that we're going to give, and you got to know that word and put it in the my inbox or wherever, or somewhere on Facebook or something, and you got to give that word in order to be in the drawing. Okay, all right. So it's going to be throughout so that means you also have to listen and you have to share in order to get that word. Okay, don't cheat, y'all. Don't cheat. Right, listen for tomorrow's drawing. That's right. $100 we give away. So it's just our way of advertising, right? So, hey, had a fabulous weekend. Fabulous. I usually give my takeaway from the weekend. I'm going to put that on Facebook Live, the pictures that I took and some information. I got the chance to meet some fabulous women doing some fabulous things. MJ Harper with Pay It Forward was honoring some powerful women in the community doing some great things. I met Thea Anna, I think I hope I'm saying her name right. I had the privilege of connecting with her. She was the MC. She got a lot going on. She got a full life too. I've seen on her thing, The Voice and some other stuff. Millie, the photographer, was in the house. Yeah, she was on the floor taking pictures. So it was just great. Oh, and it was I want to say this, the White Room. Her name is Anitra Burroughs, the White Room out there. It says it's in Pantino, Texas, but it's really right there by the Arlington Stadium. It's not that far. Great location, great place. Sweet lady. Yeah. And she is the owner and operator of that event hall there. Yes. So I'll tell you more about that. So anyway, let's get to Monday Money Matters. I I told you guys I'm gonna take it from the top. We're gonna kind of go A to Z about my journey. You all had heard my testimony, a little bit of it on last Monday, how I arrived at this lot in life. And it's definitely been a journey. Yeah. And so I want to share some things that I've experienced and that has allowed me to come from, I said, from tragedy to triumph. Yes, from the pit to the palace. Everybody's pit experience is different. Everybody's palace experience is different. Just not to be having to go to tote the loans and pawn shops and, all these kind of things. That's elevation and palace for me. So anyway, everybody's got their own perception of that, of success, should we say. So what I want to talk today about is some silent killers, some that affect us in our financial journey of our finance health. And I found those to be interest, taxes, and of course, credit. We talked a little bit, like I said, about credit last week. And I think I'm going to start out by saying I want to talk to you about budget. And I know budget is these words and these, ideals. If you're like me, they were like, they're like foreign. Who talks about these things? Who talks about these things? But I want to tell you guys, I was in business and I have been in business for a while. But one of the things that killed me before budget was interest. So I'm kind of bouncing a little bit, cutting across the field, as my pastor would say. Prior to understanding budget, some of my pitfalls in business was interest that I was paying on things. Like I was a real estate investor and I would borrow money from what they call hard money lenders, and I was paying 50 cents on a dollar. And so I wasn't really counting the cost and I didn't have a real budget. I'm just like, hey, the money's here. As long as we got the money, we can do what we got to do. And then at the end of the day, it's like, you made all this money, but you broke. You ain't got much left, And so it was a while. It was a while before I understood what was happening to me. And so that's why I'm so passionate about sharing this part of my life with you. And hopefully it'll be, I know if you, it'll help you. If you ever been like I was or been where I've been, it'll definitely help you. So anyway, I had been in business for a long while at this point, and I was in I have several businesses, a few businesses. I have a childcare facility, I have a event center, I have a life insurance license, I have a credit repair company, I travel business, real estate license, but they all work together for life. These are all life things. They're all financial things, and they all go together under one umbrella. And that's why we call it Living Life with Autumn. And so this was my childcare business. I was in it, still in childcare business, been in childcare business for 20 years. And I wanted to do some marketing. I wanted to do some marketing. And my middle child, Brittany, she's very good at marketing. They pay her very well to do what she does. And so I said, well, come help my mom with this and everything. And so she said, well, what's your budget? Budget? Excuse me. Wait, what are you talking about budget? We pay as we go. What? She said, no, Mom, that's not how it works. It's not how it works. And so I had to understand how to run a budget, money in, money out, We can't just fly on a whim. That's what the word of God says. We have to count the cost. It says that if we start building the house and we don't have enough to finish it, it says our friends laugh at us. And so it is our responsibility to count the cost. And so many times, I've done it. Okay, my thing is I can talk about me. I ain't got to talk about nobody else. That's why I love my little platform, because look, I can talk about me all day long and it'll help you. So many times we get ourselves into situations that we can't afford. We think just because we got an open door, open opportunity to get a house, or we have an open opportunity to get a car or business even, we think, oh, it's going to be okay. But how do we maintain that? You know, where is it in the budget? You know what I'm saying? What happens when the tire goes flat? What happens when the car breaks down and needs repairs? You know, I like driving luxury cars, but okay, you go out and you buy a Mercedes Benz. I had to learn to consider and evaluate the cost of an oil change in a Mercedes Benz and the cost of an oil change in a Hyundai. They're quite different. Quite. Oh, I'm looking at the camera over here. I'm supposed to be looking at the camera right here. They're quite different. Um, Counting the cost. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, number one, if you're an employee and you get a check, okay, the budget is simple. Like I said, a simple budget, money in, money out. What you got left is yours. You know, I tell people all the time, you know, you can make $1 million, but if you got $1 million worth of debt, you have no assets. You're worth nothing. Your business is worth nothing. You know, a lot of people, I know I'm jumping, I'm going cutting across the field now. A lot of people in business on their tax returns, you've got a business and you put on there, oh yeah, we made, you know, $200,000, but we write off $200,000 in deductions. Well, when you go to the bank, guess what? They look at your tax return and your business to them doesn't make any money. Hey, we made $200,000. Yeah, but you spent $200,000. It cost you $200,000 to keep that business going. So anyway, so money in, money out. But if you look at that paycheck stub, a lot of times we come up short because, and as business owners, this was my biggest, one of my biggest things was taxes. You know, I'm making money. I figured out why this happens. I'm making money and I'm trying to figure out why the IRS is knocking on my door, right? You don't work here, you know, but I had to learn real quick. I owed, you know, they want me to pay them. So anyway, so if you look at that and you say my gross income, let's just say for the sake of conversation is, you know, $1,000. It make easy math for me, so I ain't got to get no calculator out or nothing. You know, it's $1,000. Well, if you look on there, depending on what tax bracket you're in and how you filed your taxes and how many dependents you have, determines what tax bracket you're in. Now, I used to always be the one that liked getting a tax return. You know, you got your kids, you got your dependents. How many dependents can I claim to get a tax return? But as I evolved and I got older and I got into business, this is after I got out of the working industry and got into business, I don't want to get a return because that means I'm not making any money. And so I want to get out of that tax bracket, you know. And so I got into the tax bracket where now I owe taxes. And so now you need a financial consultant, someone that's a professional in this area to help you, you know, balance not writing off everything if you still want to show your business making money, you know, and so you can ensure that your business is making money, but not paying too much in taxes, you know, what do they call them, tax brackets or tax breaks or something. So a professional tax person can tell you all about that, but that's why they're in our life. So now the highest tax bracket is 37%. So that's my goal. I want to be in the 37% tax bracket. I mean, no matter how much money I make, the IRS can only take 37%. 37%, that's fine. So you got to think about it. So most of us is usually right around 15%. So that means for every dollar we make, the IRS is taking about 15%, you know, and you can Google that. You can look that up to figure out what tax bracket you're in real easy. And and then you've got other taxes. You've got FICA, which is your unemployment tax and your Medicare that you have to pay. So now this is coming out of your check. So if they tell you make $20 an hour, you got to calculate. We look, $20 an hour, 40 hours, 80 hours, blah, blah, blah. This is what my check going to be. And then when you get your check, it's like, okay, well, taxes. And then we just kind of learn to live it. Then some of us do the crazy and don't have a bank account. And we go to PLS and cash our check. And then they charge us more interest to cash that check, depending on how big that check is. And then, but I'm going way on the other side of the track right here. And then we don't want to pay I know people that don't want to pay their tithes. Say, I don't have any money to pay my tithes. But you'll go to PLS and cash your check at PLS. You'll go to the whatever them loan companies are that's charging this crazy interest. You'll go to pawn shops and pawns, anyway. Been there, done all that. Okay, been there, done all that. So that's how I know. That's how I know. That's how I know. Come back over here. So we're already, short. We already short. So that's why it's really important. And then we got to look at our expenses. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to balance the budget at some point. This is my money coming in. Okay, you can control that by making more money. Do I need more education? Do I need another job? What do I need to do here? Now, over here in the expense department, you got to make sure that you're not living beyond your means. That's what I was talking about with the houses and the cars, and I got some folks right in my circle, some of my relatives that that I don't want to live there. I don't want, but your budget, it don't mean you're there forever. You don't ever look at something where your current situation is your final destination. That's why I share this platform. This is why I share this, because I'm the testimony. I'm the living testimony that says, been there. But that doesn't mean you have to stay there. There are systems, there are methods that help you evolve, And so make sure on that expense side of things that you're living within your budget, Let me see, somebody's talking to me. What y'all talking about? Listen. Adam, I downloaded this app that Zakaria sent me, and when I clicked on it, 75,000 budget, it said that my house should be $1,100 a month. So how do I make out of 15 cents? Is that what you said? 50 cents or $15? But okay, that's something I'm going to have to calculate for you. Yeah, and there is. She said there's look at this app. I can put this app that said on the screen. Frank, too, put that comment on the screen, because there is an app that you can go to that will help you budget. So it says that, hey, if this is your income, this is what your budget needs to look like. And when we did our Money Matters conference, that was in our booklet. But if that's another app, I don't know if it's the same app, but it will actually help you facilitate your budget, make it real easy. So this is what you make, this is what it's got to look like. And I will definitely get with you on that, inshallah. Yeah, out of 15, are you saying $15? I guess you're saying. Okay. So but I'll get with you on that. I am saying if the average rent is running $2,000 a month and running over 50% of your net budget, like, it is really hard. Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. It is. So now you got to get real serious. So it's like, and this is where life is right now. And let me pause right here. I'm gonna get back to this budget thing. I see so many platforms now talking about financial literacy and credit and different things like that. I really believe with everything in me that it's already moving. The storm is already, the winds are already high. But I believe that it's really going to be a combustion. And I believe that God is preparing. He is so adamant and desiring his people to be in a position to weather the storm. And so he's preparing us, and he's using other people that have the knowledge and the resources to share with his people. Because right now we're there. We're like, we said it a couple, 2-3 years ago, one income just is not going to get it. We are so there. Things are going up and our money's not going up. That's another thing. Cost of living. Every year, the cost of living is going up. And if your money, and Google that, what's the cost of living? Texas is actually one of the highest states to live in. Mississippi is the cheapest state to live in. But then, of course, you probably don't make it, kind of still balances out. California, you know, it's very expensive. New York is very expensive. But our money's not going up, but everything is. I don't do the shopping. And so I went into the store with my husband one day, and I got a loaf of bread. He was picking up some bread, and the bread was like $2.29. I said, "Oh, no, what you get $2.29 bread for? Get that with a 99-cent bread." He said, "When the last time you been in the store? You know, ain't no bread, no 99 cents. When the last time bread been 99 cents? You know?" And so that's a big, huge jump. Like you said, that's more than 50%. And that's everything. That's rent, that's everything. So now we got to really devise a plan. We got to get serious about our attack. You know, it's kind of like this weight. You know what? If this little thing keeps on going out on me, I ain't got time for you tonight, little thing. So we got to you know what? I ain't got time for that thing. We got to make sure that we have a serious plan of attack for our finances. If that means, you know, education, if that means another stream of income, like I tell people, it used to be that another stream of income was optional. Now it's mandatory. It's mandatory that we have another stream of income. You know what? I don't know if it's real. I'm just talking right here. You know, God tells us that we're to be helpers one to another. And sometimes I just feel us as a people, we get kind of selfish. And, you know, I'm just talking. I ain't prophesying. I'm not saying it's the truth anyhow. I'm just talking. I don't know if this is to make us, you know, we got to depend on each other. We got to help each other. We got to come together as family and support each other. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where we are. Let me see what y'all talking about. Can somebody bring me my charger for this laptop so I can turn this light back on? Yeah, second stream of income is definitely necessary to get married to somebody that wants to work. Yeah, even that, you know, I have there again in my little fabulous spot. You know, I got my little girls that, you know, don't want to get married. I mean, but you know, the Bible, the word of God says that. It says that in the last days, they'll refuse to marry. You know, hey, now you might want to try to collaborate with some folks, you know, and you know, make it work, make them dollars work together, you know. And it's almost, you know, kind of mandatory that we get it together. So definitely got to come up with a plan. Definitely got to downsize, you know. Ride share. I don't know, you know, you got to cut. Where can I cut costs? I know that with me, I've got like hidden fees. I had to go through my bank account. My granddaughter was like, "Granny, you got all these subscriptions, you know," and that adds up. That adds up. If you got a $39 here, $29 there, $7 there, $4, those add up, and even this. You just got to see where you can cut. If it's rent is it, cut that. We got to learn to open the windows. You know, we can't be running up these air conditioners like, you know, we the cadet. I mean, I don't know who we are, but you know, we just got to cut the AC bill down some. We got to cut the gas bill down some. You know, right now I used to go to McDonald's and get a Coca-Cola for 99 cents. You know, that's my thing. I am going to get delivered. I am going to get delivered from my Cokes, inshallah. I am. But I'm going to get delivered because of the cost of them, you know. They're 99, they were 99 cents. And now just about even McDonald's is $1.79. And then everywhere else, if you go out to eat, they're like $3 and almost $4. You know, so probably if I do 3 a day, $10 a day, $70 a week, $142, I probably spend almost $300 a month in Coca-Colas. Okay, so that's crazy. That's $3,600 a year. That can go in my portfolio. That's crazy. And I'm keep on getting my mind right. But you know, everybody has their vice, I guess. Everybody has their vice of choice. But so anyway. Interest, watch your interest rates. That's a silent killer. You know, there's There's another app you can go to. It's an auto calculator. It's a mortgage calculator. You know, you can go to and you can put anything in there. You can put the interest rate in there, and it'll calculate how much you're paying in interest for something. Because you know, a lot of times we're buying cars and things, and we're paying 18-19% interest on cars. You know, when we need to get our credit right, some people are paying zero for their interest rate on their cars. You know, unfortunately, this is the poor keep getting poor. The middle class, I heard this years ago. The middle class, middle class, and the rich keep getting richer. Let me tell you something that I found. I used to do mortgages. Okay, I had a real estate license and I did mortgages. Do you know that a person with the worst credit can have a 50% debt to income ratio? 50%. When a person with good credit can only have a 37% debt to income ratio. That means that they're going to make sure the person with the good credit stays within a boundary, and you are spending, like you were saying about the rent, you're spending 50%. And then let me tell you, go back to what I was saying about them taxes, because 100% ain't 100% no more. By the time you pay your federal, your FICA, and your Medicare, you're probably more than likely at maybe 85%, depending on what tax bracket you're in. So now if your debt on your housing is 50%, I don't know where we at. I don't lost track. You don't have but about 20% of that income now to spend on other necessities and bills. It's crazy. It is crazy. And so what happens, let me tell you what happens. What time is it here? I'm gonna get off here in a minute. Okay. So what happens is, like I did, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to, you know, the money come, I pay, I pray, you know, and I'm not going to do no budget because I already know I don't have enough money. So God, you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to fix it because I already know I don't make enough money. But Angela, you know this with the GFR. You taught me about my kidneys, my my A1Cs or whatever, for my sugar, my blood pressure. We got to know where our numbers are in order for us to make a healthy choice. Now, it's up to us. We can ignore it. We can ignore it and say, oh, well, I'm going to drink my Coke. Oh, well, I'm going to eat my whatever. Oh, well, I'm not going to exercise. Oh, well. A disobedient child will shorten their days. And that takes me back to the scripture that God gave me, is that my people are destroyed from lack of knowledge. Let me see, y'all talk about anything on here? Okay. My people are destroyed from lack of knowledge. $4 cakes won't do it. So in our seminar, that's what we talk about. We got to first know where we're at. Where are we at? Okay, where are we trying to go? And how are we going to get there? And let me tell you guys, I am the living testimony. I've been there, done that. All of these misfortunes, you know, a lot of them. Go back and listen to my last Monday. But I know that God has a plan, and it is to prosper us and not harm us. God said he shall supply all of our needs according to his riches in Christ Jesus. I'm going to close on this and pick up with y'all next week. When my financial journey turned around, I was not able to make payroll. My payroll checks was bouncing for my employees. My lights, I was constantly getting cut off. We had to get somebody to try to cut our lights back on at the business. I late on my rent, wasn't able to pay my rent. And look at here, I took that assignment of going in. I got out of real estate and went into, by listening to the voice of God, and got into the child care business. So you know me and him had to have a conversation. We had to have us a cup of tea. We had to have us some tea. And I said, look here, God, you brought me over here. You were the one that told me to come and do, because at the time, I didn't know the real estate market was getting ready to crash, but God did. That's why it's important for us to hear God's voice and follow him and do what he says do, because we can't get our mind so set on what we want to do, because God knows what's best for us. And so, because I always thought I was going to be this big time real estate tycoon or whatever. So anyway, I went to God and I said, look, this ain't right. This ain't right. You asked, and so he said, hold on. And he said, don't put that on me. He said, I provide everything that you need. You're the one that mismanages money. You're the one that mishandles what I give you. He said, you give to folks when you shouldn't be giving. I didn't tell you to give that. I didn't tell you to do that. You spend money when I didn't, when it wasn't in the budget. You didn't count the cost. You just out here spending frivolously. And so that's when my financial journey turned around. That's when my financial journey turned around, because God is like, look, you making me look bad. You know, you're the one making me look bad, because you're making it look like I don't provide for you, like I'm not taking care of you, when it's you, the one making us look bad, me look bad. And so that's when my financial journey started turning around. And those are the kingdom principles that I want to share with you all, is how God started teaching me. And I had to start being, like Gayla tells me in my health walk, I had to start focusing and being disciplined and being consistent. And I'll tell you guys more about that journey later. And so I want to thank you guys for joining. And the word for the drawing is share. The word for the drawing is share. So those of you that watch it later and you put share in the comments, then your name will be in the drawing. But you also have to share too. You have to know the word and you have to share, and your name will be in the drawing. And so Angela says confirmation, great. This is just a confirmation, because when he sent me the budget, I told, okay, great. Yeah, we can definitely talk. And I thank you so much, Angela, for chiming in and being a part. I like to know somebody's out there talking to me. So so the drawing, what else do I want to say? Frank too. What else should I be saying here? I need y'all to like, love, share. Yes. I need y'all to go over to my YouTube. I know that moves a little slow. Hey, Sandra, that's right. Share, that's right. But they say I need y'all to go over there and subscribe or whatever. And I guess that's all. You know, my thing is that God will continue to bless you. Yes. And keep you close. Because let me tell you something. In times like these, we need a savior. Yes, we do. And I love you too, boo. And so you guys have a fabulous night. I pray God's sweet sleep, blessing and restoration, and rejuvenation and strength for tomorrow's journey. Love y'all.
Everybody talking about trying to hustle hard, but don't nobody want to talk about God. Trying to get it in, we trying to win.